Welcome to Game Soup, the game design podcast where we throw ideas in a pot and see what sticks. I'm Chloe Montgomery.
I'm Kayla Dice. Isn't it bad if things stick to the side of a pot?
I don't know, it's like that. It's like the game design podcast where we scrape the side of the pot and see what simmers.
Okay, I realized after saying that I was like, this is funny banter, and then I was like, I think I'm just being a bitch, like in like sub 30 seconds.
Sometimes being a bitch is comedy, so there you go.
Yeah, that was my. Actually, no, I relied a lot on being likable as a stand-up comedian, which is funny because I'm otherwise not.
I feel like I relied too much on being abrasive as charming. Like, oh, she's so real. She's such a bitch. But it's like, no, she's just a bitch. There's a line somewhere there where, like, you're rude too much. And it's like, no, they're just rude.
She's everything. She's just a bitch.
Something like that.
Yeah. I'm Kayla. I already said that.
You've already said that.
I already said that. Maybe the audience needed reminding.
Sometimes. I mean, let's be real, podcasts. I've had podcasts where I can't tell the hosts apart.
I feel we're probably distinctive, but I don't know. I don't think we have similar voices at all.
No, you're pretty high-pitched and I'm pretty low-pitched, so...
Oh, I don't think of myself as high-pitched.
Well, compared to me.
Yeah.
And I talk quite slow and you're quite fast-paced, so...
I am a fast talker. But in my mind, I'm actually thinking the podcast where I have trouble telling hosts apart, which usually I get over in about like an episode or two. It's more often just telling whose name is what.
Yeah.
Is usually when they are American, and I'm just worse at telling the distinctions between American accents. So I'm like, is there the flip of this of some American somewhere going like these two people sound exactly the same? And we're like, no, we're very radically different.
No, that is an issue. It's like it's bad when you remember one host's name but not the other, and it's like, you know, that one with Justin and the other ones.
Yeah, it's like, oh yeah, you know, it's Jack and Jack's friends.
Yeah.
I love when every now and then when people just refer to people as like X and company, because I'm always fascinated by who got to be the lead member.
Josie and the Pussycats. You'd hate to be the Pussycats.
Yeah. It's really funny because if you flip the order of that and go the Pussycats and Josie, it actually now sounds like a dick move to her. Like, oh no, you're not really in the band.
You're not the leader.
If you lead with that, it's like it's the Blowfish. Hootie's here too, if you care. Weirdly enough, though, the machine in Florence still works, I think.
That sounds like a sci-fi like romance.
Yeah, it gives that like almost Beauty and the Beast vibe.
Yeah.
Band hour. Add a theme song for that, Chloe. You're editing this one, so you can add theme songs for it.
Band hour. There's the jingle. Done.
We forgot to post on social media. Or you posted. Have you had something in the last minute since you posted?
No. I've got a notification that Alyssa has tweeted. Girlfriend of the show. So we're going to use a word from that tweet, and that word is sicko.
Okay, the word I had from my random... I may actually change the word I had from my random generator. Yeah, I'll go with this one. The initial one I was going to go for was marriage, but I worried sicko marriage may just be like, let's maybe not do toxic romance games.
No, I think sicko... No, I've got ideas already. Sorry, sicko marriage. You want to
do sicko marriage? Okay, yeah. Fine. I was about to go to sicko cycle. But yeah, no, let's fucking do
I think
sicko
we can
marriage.
work both of them with my original idea. Sicko marriage.
Ooh,
you are...
3 ingredients.
Radical 90s teens skateboarding your way to the church to get married.
So this is... the moment you say radical 90s teens, I'm imagining like Power Rangers.
Yeah, like... There was like some Nickelodeon show that I didn't watch about like radical X Games teens. It's like Rocket Power.
I was going to say it was a Big Bad Beetleborgs.
I'd never heard of that either, so there we go.
Big Fat Beetleborgs. It was like a in the maybe like late 90s, early 2000s. There was a couple of chances of doing like Power Rangers, but with other like toku shows. Big
Uh,
Bad Beetleborgs was one.
it sounds made up, so I can see why it didn't
Yeah,
stick.
I just wanted to see how many times I could get away with saying it without fucking it up.
Big
And
Bad
I
Beetleborgs.
Big Bad Beetleborgs.
Yeah. So I don't know what that game that is called Slug Blaster is, but I'm imagining it's something like this. Have you heard of Slug Blaster?
Yeah, another friend who has the same first name and last initial as you
Great.
was telling me how they really enjoyed Slug Blaster.
All I know about it is that it has kickflip in the like tagline of it, and
I think
the
Pizza Box.
the GM screen is a pizza box. Yeah, that was my other idea, my other thing. So
That's the thing I know. Yeah.
I think it's a
Oh, so
game where it's somehow Jet Set Radio, and I want to say you're rescuing a princess.
and then you have to marry her at the end. I feel like at this point we can cut marriage unless you really want it.
You're trying to. What was the other word?
Cycle. Because in
Cycle.
my mind it was bike tricks. Is what
Yeah,
you
there
were
you go.
going
That's
with.
one of the classes you can have. You can have a skateboard. You can have a
Ooh.
bicycle. You can
I've
have.
actually now thought of bringing back marriage.
Cool.
Well, I was like, yeah, I was imagining like, oh, so what are you doing? Some kind of like weird tricks or stuff on your way, and I was like, oh, well, maybe you get like a card. Maybe you get a printed deck of cards. Have you played The Legend Has It?
Never heard of it.
It's by Adam Bell. It's a really cool storytelling game which involves like lines on the cards and you have to connect those lines. And in my mind, I was like, oh, maybe you do that and they all say tricks and you make a trail on your way to the church. And I guess it's competitive against the other teams. You're not like you're not a sicko squad. You're all like wretched sickos trying to
Independent
win the hand of
sickos.
this one person in marriage. And
Okay.
you've got to do the most impressive tricks for that.
Yeah. So
Does that justify marriage's inclusion? Or do we?
I think, yeah, I'm trying to. I guess like winning the hand of this bodacious bride could be something.
Oh, okay. Now I was very pro like maybe that's cut marriage, but now you said the words bodacious bride, and I'm back on board.
I think maybe you are brides. You are bodacious brides. That's the name of the game, by the way. You are
Yeah,
skating
bodacious
from
brides.
the church. You are
You'll
escaping.
you'll skate away brides.
Yeah, you're running away from the institution of marriage.
Yes, I'm way back on board with this with cycling, skating, marriage, sickos. Do you have any ideas for how this plays? Because I feel like there's like fun to making what your tricks are.
Yeah, I was thinking like I know I went reset the clock. I went one episode without talking about a deck builder, but
Well, I didn't.
I was gonna say like maybe you get dealt a card, hand of cards, and you've got to make like a trick name from all the words in your cards in your hand.
Yeah, I definitely feel there's something about like building a trick or a combo of trick. So cards work well for that.
Yeah, so you get
Or
like 5 random nouns. Let's go to randomwordgenerator.com and let's build a
yeah,
trick.
yeah, to be honest, yeah, random words could work. I think like that's the thing. You can use cards linked to prompts as a randomizer. I feel you can't do that the same with dice, which is why we end up on deck builders a lot.
Yes. There's not. I've got to
If I
say, a
was,
list is less fun than a card.
yeah. Or the interesting. So this is me going back to Legend Has It, which had a. I cannot remember how it actually figured out, but there it was like, yeah, you grab things from books you have around,
Uh-huh.
and it will give you like a page number and a line number,
That's
which I guess you
cool.
could roll for those, and then it's like you're getting a random sentence from a line where it's like, oh, darkness in darkness and distance. They disappeared in darkness and distance, and then it's like, okay, what is my trick involved? I guess if that were to work.
So it's a legend has it hack, except you're skateboarding brides.
Yeah, I feel like it probably doesn't work like how Legend Has It is. I am just trying to think of other ways we can pull which aren't Trying to stretch our wings and see if we can not make a deck builder roll.
I do
I don't think
like.
we'll manage it because I think deck builder is the best option.
It's a good word that means nothing and everything. I do like the idea of pulling words from a random book on a shelf and like making that something. I'm gonna go to my bookshelf and I'm gonna pick up. I have a book right here. This book is Stranger Things: Darkness on the Edge of Town. It's a tie-in novel. Give me a
Oh, yeah, I
page.
see that in Lidl all of the time.
Give me a page number.
I will give you a page number. I'll roll the D100, and then I'll roll like a D20 or whatever. So
To be clear, I've
page
not read this
2.
book. I bought this years ago and I've still not read it.
Fair.
Page 2.
Actually, could do page 6 because page
Page
2 might
6.
still be intro.
No, it wasn't, but it's nicely yellow. This
Else.
Yeah. Okay, and give me a line.
So a line. I'll do a 20. 13.
First, oh god, I've got to count now. 10, 11, 12, 13. We got 5 words on this line.
So I guess that's dealer's choice at that point. I could roll
Yeah, okay.
a D5.
So I'll just give you the whole sentence. You said questions were good.
Oh. Said questions were good.
I think it's 11 speaking here, if that matters.
Yeah. Maybe I really liked this idea, but now I'm sort of like, how do I make a trick out of questions? Because actually, the scope of being we make up a trick or a combination or something is maybe not enough for completely random words to feel fun.
I think the good question.
The good question, yeah.
You make like a question mark with your body. Done. Next.
Okay, yeah, I'm back on board at this actually. So I guess is it you are just pulling those? Do you maybe roll for how impressive a trick is,
I
or if you can
think
pull it off?
depending on how good the quality of your words are, you maybe get less points. If it's like a really good word, if you just get like yes, then maybe that's like a more difficult thing. But like, and then for each one you get in a row, you get like a combo. When
Yeah.
you get all your
I also
points
like the
together.
idea of maybe as you add more elements to a trick, it's like this is now way more difficult to pull off. Like
Yeah.
if your trick is just, the big question, oh, that's impressive, but you can do it safely. If it's 360 big question off a grind, it's something like, okay, this might not work. I guess roll, though, if we're just doing cards, or actually, we can. Yeah, I guess roll, and it's like, okay, that roll is now way harder, or whatever, because you've added all these things, but it will be worth way more.
I think
For
the
the
way
life
that
of
we
a
make this
Bodacious
about
Bride.
brides is it's not a random book. I think it's like that one game that was like a 1-page game, and also it comes with the entire Apollo manual. But
Okay, so it comes with.
it comes with like a marriage magazine or something, like
I was about to say like
Brides
clippings of.
Monthly or something.
Yeah.
Like we make our own like Brides Monthly. It's all fictional. It's all about bodacious brides who tear off the bottom of their gowns and go skating.
Yeah. I like this. So, do you have an objective beyond just live free, be cool?
It's mostly just a tone piece, I think.
Yeah.
It's a
I think that's fine. I just
yeah.
wanted to check whether we were trying to add. Yeah, it is mainly live free, be cool. It's exploring a vibe. I think
Yeah.
you're probably not doing this for longer than 90 hours. 90 minutes.
Jesus.
Those are very
Persona
different
5
scales.
is quaking.
Yeah. I figure it's maybe a short thing, and then I guess if you fall in love with a character, you maybe
Use that in
somehow
something else.
shoehorn them into another game.
I feel like
Bodacious Brides.
Yep. Cool. Well, that was
Solid.
Thank you, Alyssa, for saying sicko.
Yes. I assume you said when you said Alyssa tweeted, it wasn't at either of us. It was just in general. Yeah.
She was going sicko mode, but without the O. 13 minutes ago from Spiteful Moth. Thank you.
Thank you, spiteful moth.
We've got another tweet from her. I don't know. I get notifications from my
Oh,
girlfriend. I don't know what to tell you. Uh, it's a retweet this time, but it does have one word on it, and the word is gift.
gift. I should maybe I should turn on tweet. I don't have tweet notifications for anyone on, so maybe I should do that.
Pardon me. It's just that she had it for me, and I thought it was cute, so I
Yeah, she has it for
reciprocated.
me, so I'm like, I feel like I do need to reciprocate. I think it's bad I haven't reciprocated.
Okay, so we got gift. Let's get another word. Let's go to random word generator.
Yeah,
I don't like
I
that. I'm gonna say
midnight smile neutral key or rainbow are my five.
let's go midnight. Let's go the first one in the
Yeah,
list.
I like what is the midnight gift?
The midnight gift. I
Dare
mean,
thou'st open the midnight gift.
I mean,
I think the midnight gift is about making deals with the devil. Or
yes,
being a devil making deals with other people.
yeah. It's definitely like some sort of. I don't want to just go like easy, like party game about would you rather's.
I think I've got actually a cool idea.
Hit me with it.
Um, I'm just trying to think of exact. So it's a game about. I guess it's a two-player game. Then maybe it's one of those two-player games where like it's fun to watch and maybe you rotate around. But
Yeah,
one person is the devil. Um, one person is a person being offered a gift. They each time like there's a bunch of like pick lists and stuff for making this person and figuring out what their motivations would be.
yeah,
Then the devil also has a bunch of pick lists for giving them this gift. But then the person always makes this pitch of, well, how about I just get the gift and don't have to give you my soul or anything in exchange if I beat you at one of these very common games. And we just always have the suggestion of two-player games you can grab, whether it's like Jenga, Connect Four,
chess.
chess,
Yeah,
um, any kind of two-player game. And honestly, if we were just being absurd, maybe this is a massive fuck off Kickstarter where we've included a bunch of these games. And you're grabbing them from your Jenga towers and your chess sets and your things from the box. But otherwise, I'm just like, it's just a list. And it's like, oh yeah, you can always propose any two-player game and then you play it in character. You could do fucking Halo 3 1v1 me, bro.
yeah.
I
Scattershot.
like. Is
Yeah,
this anything? The Midnight Gift?
I think this is maybe something if it was like a bolt on for like another game. Like, oh, you need to make a
Mm,
deal with the devil in Dungeons and Dragons. Why not try the Midnight Gift? But
yeah.
I don't know. I'm trying to find that spice there, that oomph. Um,
The spice, the oomph.
See, Midnight is giving me like the Midnight Society. Like it's a group of people coming together to tell their tales of their gifts. So I think it's maybe like they've all made deals with the devil to give them some supernatural ability. And are they then creating this Midnight Gift Society? They're going to bring down the devil and get out of their deals.
Yeah. That's. I do actually have a game which is a stealing the throne hack where it's, oh yeah, you're a bunch of dipshits who sold your soul to a dark power of some kind, and you are going to make a heist to steal it back because you have decided you'd actually like your soul after all.
Yeah.
Or maybe I'm now maybe thinking it's like it's almost like a small setting generation game. Like it's a society, a secret society builder game
I
where
like
you're getting a
that.
bunch of prompts and stuff to build. I guess maybe it's ostensibly you're all playing a new member of the Society of the Midnight Gift, and you are introduced to all of the other people. And each time you're doing whatever randomization or stuff, you have to build this person. Where it's like, oh, what was the gift they got? They got that. What did they get in exchange for it?
Yeah. No, I like this. Cult
Yeah,
Generations Simulator.
yeah. I don't know if it is just tables or pick lists with open
I
questions and
think it's like
stuff.
a belonging outside belonging system that is primarily used by people to just build like a secret society.
Yeah, it's more the character creation in a belonging outside belonging game rather than progressing to the
The
play
idle
bit.
dreaming stuff. Yeah. I
Yeah,
mean, that's the
I
most
think
fun
that would.
part. But talking about belonging outside belonging is kind of the best part of it. I know it's like talking about it is playing it, but you know what I mean.
I get you, yeah. But yeah, character creation, secret society builder. And then, like, I feel that is. The premise is, like, sort of timeless enough. I feel like this is genuinely like, oh yeah, you could. Then you've built the society, you could include them in virtually any game that could justify having a secret society.
Yeah.
Like, this could as easily go into D&D as it could into Blades or into Monster Hearts or Tournament Arc Secret Society.
I mean, yeah.
They do evil football.
It's the society to um make football bad, and it's called FIFA.
Yeah, yeah. Uh,
There you go then. We got time for a
the
third one.
Society of the Public Interest Fund.
So that was the midnight gift. What does your mug say? Sorry, we record this. Kayla always has her webcam on, and she keeps lifting up a mug to the camera, and I'm curious to see what it says.
Yeah, Chloe doesn't have her webcam on.
I
I
don't
have
have a
it on
webcam.
because, yeah, which is fine. I wasn't gonna end that sentence in criticism. I was just gonna say I have my camera on because it's easier for me to not get distracted if I have something to look at rather than just a conversation. So in this case, what I'm looking at is my own face. The mug says "Cats don't give a fuck." It was a gift I got from one of my close friends in 2017, maybe.
Damn,
Is this now the oldest mug I have? It might be.
that's cute.
I was interested when I spot like the oldest X or whatever I have.
Yeah.
Like I was interested when I was noticing the other day, and I'm like, oh yeah, I think I know what is the oldest top I have.
I mean,
Don't,
I have shirts from like
don't.
10 years ago, so I'm just gonna skip over the oldest top that you have. It's too easy a joke.
Fair.
Um,
I just am always a bit curious when I notice something is like the oldest of something I have. 25 minutes. We're at 25 minutes.
25
Do we
minutes. We
just
can fit
stall
another
and have
one.
random chat,
No,
or do we bust out
let's
another one?
let's do a segment. Let's do that bit where we take pre-baked ideas and see if we can make them into a full cake. It's
Hell yes.
pre-baked ideas run with a
Your
jingle.
you're on theme song
Chloe,
duty now.
yeah, it's sometimes you need a store-bought kit. That's fine. Roll with it. It's Chloe and Kayla's pre-baked goods. There we go. Thank you.
Woo! Woo! Encore! Encore!
So pre-baked
Oh,
goods.
I feel every episode I get more annoying than the previous episode.
It's endearing. Pre-baked goods is the
Pre-baked
recurring
goods.
segment that I've just given a name to. I think it probably sounds better if it was store bought or something, but pre-baked goods, don't care.
Yeah.
Um,
Partially baked. It's the partially baked baguettes you get.
yeah, there you go. We've made it work. Warm it up in the oven when you get home. This is what we're
Yeah.
doing here. Get to the actual idea, Chloe. You're circling the drain here.
Yeah, have you got the actual idea like locked and loaded and
Yeah,
still
I've got it
or
here. So, have you
Okay.
ever read Scott Pilgrim?
Yes, I was a big Scott Pilgrim fan.
Good. So there's this one bit in, I want to say, book 2, where he defeats Lucas Lee and he gets his skateboard.
Mm.
And it's like the mithril skateboard, and it has like +4 to speed and +3 to kick. I have a screenshot of
But
it
he
here.
can't use it because he's not.
He
He only took a level in sword fighting.
he took
so it doesn't
longsword
actually have.
proficiency rather than
Yeah.
skateboarding proficiency. So I've sent you a picture there of that moment. So the game
Oh.
idea is a system where both skateboarding and longsword proficiency are valid character choices.
Yeah. I feel like there's so this is our second skateboard game of the show
It's a
today.
theme. I don't care. I've already picked the
See,
thing.
I was thinking about this because I got asked because I was having a conversation with someone while they were working on stat stuff, and I was like, I think I have literally only ever made 2 games of stats ever.
Yeah. Well, it's not necessarily stats, it's proficiency.
I see.
I'll send you the tweet.
But is speed, kick, and will not stats?
Yes. But as the specifically thing I'm talking about is I want a game where both skateboarding and longsword proficiencies are both valid character choices.
Yeah,
Like
they're
Scott is
both as
bemoaning that he didn't.
strong.
Yeah, Scott is bemoaning that he didn't pick skateboarding proficiency in middle school. He took longsword proficiency.
And
So
both kind of would have been as useful in his life because.
yeah,
So is this us? So we do this, but also are you wanting to not make a Scott Pilgrim game?
I mean, my brain is just kind of defaulting onto make a Scott Pilgrim RPG, but
I'm surprised there's not an obvious big serial numbers filed off where you're like, oh yeah, I mean that's doing Scott Pilgrim. Considering Scott Pilgrim is kind of doing games in some way.
yeah, I mean, like, okay, let's just do Scott Pilgrim serial numbers filed off RPG, the Funko Punk Scott Pilgrim. I
I
heard
feel
that
this is
years
the
ago.
thing where
Yeah,
I feel that's very like I feel it's like bells and whistles are very trad maybe in terms of I think you probably do have stats and attacks and proficiency and everything like that. But then I guess like the logic and way it runs, um, and I guess like play style is more story e. Does that make sense?
yeah, I think it's like a story-based system. It's probably PBTA.
Yeah, it's
Uh,
PBTA, but I feel with a lot of trappings of harder things, but like they don't
yeah,
actually do anything is maybe my idea. Like you say like, oh yeah, this gives you this gives you a speed bonus, but you don't actually have a stat that is speed.
no,
It's just like you've got a speed bonus and that's flavor.
yeah, it's vibes based. So it's like if you're in a running contest, it's like, oh, but I got a plus to my speed, so you can run faster. But it's never like, oh, I have +4 to my speed, so I can move an extra 2 spaces in combat.
Yeah,
None of
it's
that
more just
shit.
consistently asking. It's trying to be an argumentative little shit and ask for more dice or
Yes.
bonuses.
Yeah, I think you. So Scott Pilgrim RPG, do one of you play as the shit boyfriend, and then the rest of you play as the friend group, or
Yeah, I don't know. This is the thing. How close are we assuming we are? Is because in my mind I was initially imagining like, oh yeah, we have a lot of the vibes of the world logic of Scott Pilgrim Toronto, where it's very game
yeah, okay, yeah. I
influence and
don't think
problem
then
solved by fights. But are you imagining? Yeah, this is a plot like whatever the plot is of this base game is going to be
that's
fighting
what I was
axes.
imagining at first,
Imagining.
but I think that is kind of just boring. Like, oh, you make your own Scott Pilgrim story. Why wouldn't I just read Scott Pilgrim then?
Yeah.
So
So
I
I'm maybe
think a
like
game set in Toronto, Canada, the fictional
that
town of
you're
Toronto, Canada. Um,
it's maybe implicitly like, oh yeah, I mean, obviously everyone lives here and gets up to weird fucking shit in their lives.
yeah,
So, but
like
I think it is probably then slice of life
yeah, it's slice of
almost.
life, but life sometimes just has you fighting ninjas.
Yeah. It's slice of a weird life. It's what would Scott Pilgrim be like if instead of a graphic novel series, it was a comic strip in a newspaper.
Yeah, if it was a 4-panel manga.
Yeah. Do we do more on this? Because I feel like we have got this.
I want you to give me the names of 3 playbooks.
Okay. I mean, I feel like an easy starting point would be band things. So you go like, oh, the singer, the drummer,
Oh,
the bass
yeah.
player. I feel you don't have the guitarist, which I think would be funny.
That's
So it's
fun.
like, yeah, no, I mean, if you knew how to play, or maybe you don't have. I feel there's one instrument you cut on the basis of like, yeah, no one who is good enough to be doing this is hanging out with you.
Yeah, you don't have a lead guitarist. You have a bassist. You have a drummer. You have
Yeah.
a You have a keyboarder.
So I feel that's one. I feel like Skater could be a playbook.
I think honestly, all of the playbooks are named after your position in the band. That's what keeps your group together.
Okay, yeah, I like this. We
Because
go heavy on band.
there's a lot of bands in Scott Pilgrim.
Yeah, it is kind of like the initial for the film version as well. It is kind of way more anchored by what the band is up to
Yeah.
as a loose structure. So yeah, I like this. You're so techie roadie as well. Like even if you don't actually have a position in a band, it's like yeah, everyone
Yeah,
emotionally
you've got a
thinks of you. You're
fangirl so
their
that you can have your
emotional
night
labor
out.
roadie.
Yeah. Yeah, sorted.
Yeah,
Doesn't need a name.
fanboy.
It's just Scott Pilgrim RPG.
I feel like you could steal any of the sort of subtitles of Scott
Yeah.
Pilgrim games.
I
So
mean,
it could just be called Versus the World versus the Universe.
I think
Probably not Precious Little Life. That maybe gives a different vibe, but
yeah, I think Versus the World is kind of evocative.
yeah. I think the game is called Versus the World.
There we go.
This is interesting because I feel this is actually one of the closest things we've pitched on a show where I'm like, oh yeah, I could see myself one day wanting to write that. But I think I would. I don't think I'd be proud of myself for writing the Funko Punk Scott Pilgrim game. I just think I'd be good at it.
I think there's a
But I
version of me
think
10 years ago that would be like, oh my god, I need to play this now.
yeah, I remember. Do we want to confess some random? I mean, do you want me to confess some random weird adolescent memory I have related to Scott Pilgrim?
Well, look, the movie was my favorite movie for most of my teenage years, so
I mean, it was the movie that made me want to try and be a film person, which
valid.
is my backstory element of I used to try and do film. The theory is I read Lost at Sea, which was the first book by Brian Lee O'Malley.
Never read that one.
I don't really love Lost at Sea. I've not read it in a while, so I don't know how much I stand by that. But I think as a very sad and lonely teenager, I liked and related to it a lot. But I remember my mum specifically asked me, this is a weird question to get from my mum, which is like, oh, I'm just surprised you say you related that because I don't, because the main character is a girl. And I was like, I mean, I think you can relate to things regardless. I think that is what empathy is. And I'm like, this is a weird take. I didn't get it. But also, in this one instance, there was actually that was not an impediment. That was a bridge.
Brian Lee O'Malley made you trans.
A little bit. No, I don't know why. For some reason, I keep randomly thinking about all of the things that make me trans. Which I'm like, this just seems boring because this is me thinking about. Actually, I was thinking about this as a random thing because I realize now that when I think back to 10 years ago,
Yeah.
I'm thinking of a person I can remember with clear memories. Whereas 10 years ago, when I was 18, if I thought about being 10 years younger, I'm thinking about a child and I don't have their memories.
Yeah.
I'm in a weird mood lately. I'll get over it.
God. I'm happy to win the show there.
Yeah, Versus the World. I've forgotten the other two names.
The other two.
The Bodacious Brides.
Yes.
And what was our second one?
The
The Midnight Gift.
Midnight Gift. Bosh.
Yeah.
See the Midnight Gift on a t-shirt. It's an entirely black t-shirt and the Midnight Gift and then like a little present box. It's all in white text.
Yeah. I think you do some really funky shit on the Kickstarter for that, where you are proposing you give people an individual Midnight Gift, which is always just ornate boxes with nothing in them.
Yes. A curse.
Yeah. So I've established the one I'd probably be most likely to write is Versus the World, but I'd hate myself over it.
No, I could see
The
myself
one
enjoying writing that. I'm not gonna lie.
fair. I think I'd hate having to sell it. I'd enjoy making it, but I'd hate having to sell it and say this is my Scott Pilgrim game.
No, because that's easy to sell. It's got a good
That's
point.
easy.
It gets people to shout at you on Dicebreaker.
Maybe I've had enough of people shouting at me on Dicebreaker.
Thank you for listening to Game Soup.
Thank you, bye.
Bye.